Exactly. Ghana for a
memo time.
Who's that? The scene no before elections. So, when you heard things that may happen within our judiciary,
yes,
you and I will agree. Say there were much more concern about the integrity and the sustainability of your judiciary in this country.
Right.
Ghana for where land. And there are big media platforms, they were running, your friends saying, pools, as if one try to ascertain the level of trust and confidence Ghana for war our judiciary.
Exactly.
The results were out there. If only we want to be very honest with ourselves. In recent times, there were a lot of, your friends saying, ruling and a free Supreme Court over ordinary people could deem those ruling as very silly. And it was all over. You heard a lot of unpopular names like unanimous 11 wine because some of the rulings now was subjected to critical scrutiny. Element of common sense, reasoning and logic were missing. For instance, with this birth certificate, passport thing, and then issue. So the integrity of the judiciary became a Ghana for so much concern about. Then came to the packing of the court, came to the appointment of individuals with known partisan ties. Yes. Former parliamentary candidate, our fairly now appointing a whole lot. You see, morally, some of these things, had a tendency to taint the credibility of the judiciary. And see, going into the elections, these were some of the key issues on the table in Ghana for Kamwasem, and the promise was made, some effort to be done just to ensure, say, regularize once again Ghana for being hope, trust and confidence in the institution. Because, Dr. MacArthur said, "Oko mind be a idea about how buying your soldier for Mukuratu and then your police for. I have trust and confidence the individuals repose in the establishment."
Exactly.
And in our course, Sri Lanka, Nipano Muti or Mainubufu, they all walk to the seat of the president.
Exactly.
Drove the president out in the swimming pool in as for citizens were soldier for to stop here because it's their trust and confidence among for one reduce now lose that particular way. You are done.
Yeah.
You can have all the military whatever. And unfortunately for us, Jubilee House, maybe see Ghana for Woman, there is no way anybody can hide anywhere. You understand? So I think that's very important for us to put these issues on the table. After elections, then petitions started springing up. Because Mbakacho say even petition will be and me I had in mind say I will put that particular thing in place. So petitions as started here. A president through a communication bar said this is what has happened and the processes has advanced so far. There has been a lot of your friends political cynicism, some kind of way a man for try just to make this whole thing look like a particular agenda. But for me, where I sit now, I have listened to the Ghana Bar Association, I have listened to some so-called prominent lawyers, I have listened to the opposition party, I have listened to a lot of people or more try to comment on this particular issue. But there hasn't been any single individual, including the Chief Justice herself, or your press conference, what me pontificate at a single constitutional infraction our occasion so far in the course of this thing. Apart from throw out her twisted emotions and what she thinks the law should be. You understand? When he had her disagreement on the court, I think Onya 7-0, I say 5-0. Clearly, say issues now or no canon were not grounded, firmly grounded in any law, just imaginations and her personal wishes as a judge, as an individual, even though she's a lawyer. That is why I court no to go. But the process in some all kind of say, President in second petition, ya man of kind amana responded. That is why whole thing started. Abra or the letter come out president. And president was very kind enough and gave her a copy of that particular petition. And Nuntina Chief Justice, it will respond there, and son of the Council of State, it may establish the Premier Facia. MacArthur said in the establishment of Premier Facia, in that particular process, it's not an adversarial process. I say some adverse funding will be advanced because they are just looking at the integrity and the threshold now, constitution, the subsequent process after it, and I am kwanya, and you have cause to complain, you understand? But baby and run all boy, kwanya ye fast so I established the Premier Facia or say there were procedural errors. My question is, what has been any constitutional instrument to be an answer procedural instrument to be established? These are the processes that we need to go through to ensure that we establish the Premier Facia, because she's not the first person to go through this process. Okay, Justice Darren and Co and other people. The former your friend is saying Shraj Boss and Nasafono.
Yes.
They all went through this process.
Madam Lamti.
I'm telling you, sir, so far, no, there hasn't been any legislative instrument, procedural instrument. We need to go through, say, from this stage to this stage. Abaka say the process is circumvented this laid down procedure. There hasn't been anything. What it does, is a president receive a petition or forward it to the Council of State. The Council of State will do their in-depth inquiry into the matters to ascertain whether there is merit, credence in the issue, and then the report will finally be communicated to the president. Exactly. This is the process. So what the hell is he talking about? Saying the process they established the premier facility was an error, and she was not able to pontificate a single constitutional line. You circumvented because my culture there is no legislative instrument and a procedural document regularizes that particular process. Senka Onimbibi Branko Chief Justice and she could have sense no. In establishing a premier facility, we need a procedure, and let us fairly ground that particular in law. What's now how me did the amount for another so no you are crying. And again, Anura, so what here in Semna Okana, I saw a visibly shattered woman, all drawn in the sea of her own emotions, and clearly you could sympathize with her. And I'm a catcher say, when you're to me, you must learn to use it wisely because to me, you're ning castle. I was so much ashamed to the stand, sir, for such words to be coming from a chief justice, because she ended up accusing the other people, other judges. I must swear and to the stand said that the authority in question, or said not send back court. Now Justice Panamaya Otiwe no so no writing a dissenting view different from one another, and according to her, because of that particular reason or then disagree or no a ruling in favor of Daniel Ofori, disqualified the man. I need to question. I'm saying we are talking about high profile judges. We know that their conscience, everything is intact. You've sworn an oath. So is the woman telling us, to know, almost swear as a judge, it doesn't mean anything? Because as a judge, every case is different depending on the relevance of the issue that are available. You understand? You don't jump from issue to issue, because when me rule for you, I don't have any personal attachment with you. So in a subsequent case, another case, you cannot say in the future no rule for way, yes. It doesn't make sense. And clearly what the woman was lamenting yesterday was pure raw emotions, and it was very shameful, to be very honest with you, because my press conference I couldn't even watch to the end, because you could see clearly say whether she has been misled by some individuals to go on this particular time. So you disagree with her on the conflict of interest bit now? Yes, there is no conflict of interest, and that particular issue, no, she or drag it to court. Another day issue ni about Wegu, you understand? And again, we are talking about the most influential person within the judiciary. The topmost, the pinnacle of the judicial power. And if you go to the Constitution, it is explicitly written, say, the processes involved in removing the Chief Justice, the hearing, must be heard in camera. The issues so far, even though you can say, there were pieces of the petition being thrown around, a media for a man can do the investigation, get it. But officially, the parties involved, none. And as speaking to the issues in public, not even government officials. But the woman brought a petition that is supposed to be listened to or looked at in public, in private, or the general public and on TV. And now all country Ghana for what is in the petition. That is a clear constitutional breach. And so even this process, clear that woman, Obi can take her to court and make sure she is removed, because she has demonstrated nothing but sincere incompetence. Actually, she is not a person of character. Ghana for me trusting her to be the administrative head of the judiciary, because what she did, a flagrant abuse of an explicit constitutional provision. And here interpretation, you see the provision must be, the process must be done in camera. You bring the petition out, discuss it, the merit, everything in it, another day, you put judgment on it. Does it make sense? And this is a chief justice who is supposed to ensure, judiciary na da ho no obebo ho ban and make sure say niam be ya adwuma
ever some who can article 1468
okay
mami kind just so that viewers in so be or say all proceedings under this article and when you procedure from 6 7
yes
all proceedings under this article shall be heard in camera
yes
and the justice or chairman against whom the petition is made is entitled to be heard
yes
in his defense by himself
yes
or by a lawyer or other aspect of his choice.
Exactly. This is a clear constitutional provision, explicitly written. You don't need any implicit analysis to understand this. You see, for me, you see, when this whole process started, I told you I had a lot of respect for this woman, but the tangent she's going, I've lost every bit of respect I have for her. For instance, she says, "Oh, I'm for intimidating. A bit of catch and say on resigning. People are threatening her life. For Christ's sake, you are a chief justice. You are not some kind of Yes, you are not an ordinary person. This is a chief justice. Obi threatening, you know what to do. You go to the police. You report the issue to the police. You don't do press conference. Media for no Obi threatening with life. Are going to the media to tell media no. Does it solve the problem? And this is the biggest person in the judiciary. Also Obi threatening say on resign. Now, in the position, you know, on to me, and you know, for her, that is a reason why she thinks that the government is behind it. When she is unable to even identify individuals now or more threatening, again, Edu Lodge, she says that it brings a bad memory. Who cares about your emotional feelings? We are talking about Obia, why ye adia, a man for free, so what a man for far, who dear so. And the constitutional process has been set in motion. Who cares about how you feel about the building? Because that building there, your friends a castle. Your friends a government building. We are not paying any this thing for that particular facility. You understand? And that place now all can say bringing memory. Now when a man for now over the years outfits, you know, agile or call prison and as a form. No, you know how they feel about the process. So I think that you see. I think that she must heed to wise counsel.
Okay.
Because tangents now on Namsono, she's breaking laws, she's defaming herself. She's proving to people that she's not a person of character. And I've sat on TV and I've told people say, "Oh, person who nyansa just wait for a trouble day." Because aseminya maya obia shekoti na obia ni nyansa. But when asembabano, that's where you begin to test the integrity and the moral stability of individuals. And for me, what the Chief Justice sought to do yesterday was a stage managed politics.
Okay.
Somebody on attention shopping stand trying to call for people that young coming to her aid. But you see, Ghana for now, Otin Channel, I am much concerned about the sustainability and the integrity of our judiciary. They are not much concerned about the individuals. So for her, she's just a minor piece of the bigger puzzle Ghana for are trying to solve. Okay. So that emotional blackmailing that she sought to do on TV yesterday, you know, will not fly because it will not change.
Yes. 2 minutes more. You have almost done 15 minutes. But me beside your perspective on this matter. She made a point that I'll say, and I'm quoting her. That I say, hey, I have to screen this to my. I'll say, and she's speaking here.
Okay.
Article 1273 of the Constitution indemnifies a judge against any action or suit for any act or omission by him while exercising judicial power.
Yes.
This provision was just last week cited as a reason for declaring a petition against a Supreme Court nominee frivolous.
Okay.
And yet, I am in Edu Lodge defending myself on this petition.
She's not serious.
Debbie.
I'm telling you, Debbie. Because as a Chief Justice, she's supposed to know better. The issues now in question has nothing to do with her doing her job as a judge. For instance,
she's saying that Daniel Ofori
Daniel Ofori issue in question,
yes.
So over kind petition say the ruling on that particular matter was concluded. They did everything. The judges have given their ruling. It was a side issue that has to do with personality, character, attitude, how you spoke to one person. Yapon show we camera no more free and so. What ensued between us, and you cannot capture it as part of proceedings across one team. You understand? Exactly. So it was a side issue, and the guy stated it. So if the Chief Justice is abusing somebody off record, that is not part of your job as a judge. You understand? Because it was off record. Judges don't have given their ruling. Ya dia seminary, ya buni for. and then you are telling your colleagues, look at you, you are a lawyer, an incompetent person, you do more higher than as a forum. That is not part of judicial job. Yes, that is a side issue. Your friends say Obi can take you on because as a chief justice, you have no right to abuse anybody. Another day, nipa no challenge you, what's a young fan? Now police for a man handle na early event, lead to series of interactive way. So we cannot say your friends say why abusing the pan because court, Don't forget that proceeding ended when the ruling was given. Anything that happened beyond side issues and so forth. So for me, I think it's better say go through the process because you see in some Nana Mekacha says she's emotionally a bit shattered in the sense she's not finding balance because one breath you are appearing before the committee. Processing is ongoing. You are still part of the process. So why jump out of the process to come and do press conference? Press conference is right. I cannot take that away from her. But if you know, you don't have confidence in the process that is going on, you pull out. You understand? Exactly. You understand? And now say you wait for the process to end, then you tell people what? This whole thing is a PR stand. For me, I think it's just she's just trying to sell some kind of emotional beta. No serious person will take it serious. All right. I don't want the committee to chant her. The fact, as presented in the petition, the committee should do a thorough job. Another day, say about one thing, say Chief Justice, she will come back and take her job. And again, I'll say last one, I'll say President signed warrant of suspension, and they had a public go to me say, oh yeah, let me tell you. If you go to the Constitution, it is quite clear. Not in any term, Constitution say, President, committee now, yes, you be dinner the next phase. Yes. Say yet me establish the premier facie and we now establish a credence and merit, and set up a committee. Yes. The President, no, I will to me. That is a discretionary injunction on the president to sign that warrant or not. So it is not up to you in your twisted emotions just to determine what the president should do. You understand? All right. That is a constitutional right. So for me, I think that she's a broken, visibly shattered woman drawn in a pool of sea.
I was Ivan, Kyei, innocent now, or then at Tujano. So the last commentary, Article 10, 14610 A, B. President was at 2 minutes to suspend it. Bello, my member also 15 minutes to